Have you ever stopped to consider what the word total actually means, or even the term double entendre? Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Rebel, and welcome to the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast number 210. This is the one about total tools and totality in Jeet Kune. As you're logging in, if you'd be kind enough to say where you're logging in from, hit the like button and feel free to continue doing so throughout the broadcast. If you're catching the simulcast over on the YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well. If you enjoy my work and you'd like to support the program, please visit jkdrebel.com, click on the Rebel Gear link, and that's where you'll see stuff like this. The beloved 4 tenets of Jeet Kune t-shirt, long sleeve, short sleeve, hoodie, and coffee mug. But of course, the best thing you can do is to share this video and spread the word about the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast. So here are 2 Bruce Lee quotes to open up this discussion. The first one's longer than the other. Having totality means being capable of following what is, because what is constantly moving and constantly changing. If one is anchored to a particular view, one will not be able to follow the swift movement of what is. Second quote, one can function freely and totally if he is beyond system. The man who is really serious with the urge to find what truth is has no style at all. He lives only in what is. Okay, well, we got to go backwards because we got to ask, what is this what is to which Bruce Lee refers? Because there has to be a beginning of some sort. So the what is was the available body of knowledge of martial art, which existed in Bruce Lee's time. So he dealt with his what is. But he sought to go beyond the accepted approach of his era, which was to coin a phrase I got from my good friend Mark Stewart, which was to be style-centric. Bruce Lee was not interested in that aspect, and what he perceived as the limitation that is brought on by such an approach. We can say that Bruce Lee preferred to look beyond the techniques of any particular style, any particular art, and instead to look at the tools that are being developed to perform these techniques. Bruce Lee realized that movement was key, which is why he said, to paraphrase my good friend Richard Torres, Bruce Lee said that understanding movement was central to the understanding of Jeet Kune. Now, if you look at the words in the image for today's broadcast postcard, right? Because it's a blend of the two ideas of tools and totality, right? As Bruce Lee wrote, grappling, kicking, throwing, punching, striking, etc., are parts of a whole which makes the total me. So Bruce Lee, like me, does indeed have a lot to say about tools in Jeet Kune, or tools of Jeet Kune. If you go through the pages of the Tao of Jeet Kune, there's a ton of information on the execution of the different kicks and punches and what have you, the stuff that he just referred to. So when I said that he made use of the available knowledge of his time, look at the Tao. His notes are from source materials to which he had access. Notes on boxing, notes on kicking, notes on judo, aikido, jiu-jitsu, all that stuff. As far as the tools, they were going to be sharpened by taking the techniques that Bruce Lee found personally suitable and then personalizing them even more by the way that he trained specifically to develop them. Now, in the years since Bruce Lee's passing, some of his followers have continued that practice of investigating the body of knowledge available in their time in order to do the same thing Bruce Lee did, which is to discover for themselves that which is personally efficient. Now think about it. In essence, they are applying Bruce Lee's directive that a really good teacher is never a giver of truth, but instead is a guide or a pointer to the truth, which the student must discover for himself. Now understand this, if your source has passed away, but has left a body of knowledge, that body of knowledge should not replace him as the giver of truth. That body of knowledge should still be a guide or a pointer to the truth, which the student must discover for himself, if you are truly applying and following Bruce Lee's directives. Bruce Lee wrote that besides possessing, here's a quote from Liberate Yourselves from Classical Karate. Besides possessing deep understanding, a good teacher must also have a responsive mind with great flexibility and sensitivity. So detractors of the method of, let's say, doing what Bruce Lee did, but I'm talking about going through the same process. I'm not talking about product, right? Going through the same process that Bruce Lee endured. Detractors of this method will sometimes accuse the practitioners of being jacks of all trades, implying therefore that they will never master the one trade of Jeet Kune. In the past, I used to say that's because they were too dumb to entertain the idea that there's a thing called a master jack, which was a word creation of mine, right? And an idea of mine. My Jeet Kune colleague, Greg Nelson, says master a few and jack everyone. But recently, my favorite Canadian JKD senior reminded me of the original form of the Shakespeare quote, which is, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. In other words, people who think that they're using an insult, if they knew the full quote, if they were smart enough to know the full quote, they would never try to use it because it's actually a compliment, right? So in case you're not familiar with it, I shall repeat it for you. A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. All right, so after waxing philosophical there, I shall leave you with this, right? As much as Bruce Lee wrote about the physical tools of Jeet Kune, he also waxed philosophical about them as well. The same man who detailed exactly how to throw a damaging straight lead punch also wrote, the finger jabs, the side kicks, the back fists, and so forth are tools of destruction and violence, which indeed are a couple of their functions. But there's also the belief that the primary function of such tools is revealed when they are self-directed and destroy greed, fear, anger, and folly. Hence, the tools of Jeet Kune. Okay, what say you? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. That's really all I got to say about this video. I've been on Facebook way too much already this week. All right. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter at Dwight Woods and on Instagram at Dwight D. Woods. Remember, email me at jkdrebel at gmail.com. Put JKDSS as in Sam, as in success strategies. Put JKDSS in the subject line so I know exactly what you're. This is for people who are interested in getting on the mailing list for the aforementioned Jeet Kune success strategies, which will be, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a new Facebook page and website for Jeet Kune practitioners who are interested in taking their study to the next level. So jkdrebel at gmail.com, just put JKDSS in the subject line and I'll add you to the mailing list. I can tell you one what I'm hoping to do is with that response, put together an initial Zoom conference, not a live stream or anything, just a Zoom conference to discuss exactly what it is that everyone's looking for, right? Okay, so that's that. And coming up on Friday, January 14th, Jeet Kune Dialogues episode with Juan Perez of Combatives Unlimited, fellow Floridian up in Jacksonville. That'll be this Friday at 6 p.m. Today is a pastel day. I went with the light blue. How you like that? Bruce Lee, Kali. I couldn't resist. All right, so hopefully I'll see some of you on Friday when Juan's here with me. Otherwise, I'll see you next Wednesday for another issue of the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast. Until then, this is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Rebel, signing off. You guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Talk soon.